Well, even when he's hurt and out of the game and out of the, thinking he's out, Francisco Lindor is getting big hits and winning games for the Mets, as he did again last night in a pinch hit role, coming in and hitting a 2 RBI double in the ninth inning that won a crazy game for the Mets. Right? A lot of crazy things happened, but when you boil it down, it was good starting pitching. It was Alonso. It was Lindor getting big hits, and that's been the formula for the Mets so far this season, and why they are 16 games over 500, why they're in first place in the NL East, why they are just playing solid baseball. And listen, again, Senga starting pitching, excellent job. 6 innings, 1 run. The Mets were, it's not his fault. The Mets were leaving runners all over the bases all night. They left 12 on base. They were 3 for 15 with runners in scoring position. They couldn't buy a hit until the 7th inning when Alonso came in with 2 on and 2 out and got a big rip up the gap in left center field all the way to the wall and scored 2 runs. The Mets had a 2-1 lead. And you thought, okay, we're in good shape, but they gave it right back. And it was 2-2. And then, it was back and forth. Again, craziness. The craziest thing that happened last night was that both teams had bases loaded, no outs, and couldn't get a single run. Neither team could get a sit. That is so hard to do. All you got to do is make contact, really, and you're more than likely going to get a run. The Mets went up there with the bases loaded. It's 3 straight strikeouts, and Alvarez in the middle of it. And I'm getting sick and tired of Alvarez at the plate, to be honest with you. But the Mets, 3 straight strikeouts, bases loaded, no outs. Rockies get out of it. Later in the game, Stanek on the mound, he got himself 3 straight walks. He walked 2 and he hit a batter. That loaded the bases, and he got, it doesn't get any luckier than that because he got a line drive. Beatty caught it and tagged the runner, which he didn't have to do, by the way. You could just touch the base for the second out, and then he got a big strikeout, and he got out of the jam. I tried looking it up because I was curious as to when it has ever happened before. I'm sure it has, but I couldn't find it when the last time it happened. But, man, the Mets wiggle out of trouble, and they've been doing that all year. Things have just been going their way. And then you get Lindor in the 9th inning, who comes to the plate, which I wasn't very happy. 2 days after the guy breaks his toe, do we really need him out there? But he went out there, and he first pitch, ripped it down the right field line, 2 runs scored, and again, starting pitching, Alonso and Lindor, and the Mets win the ball game, and they win 4-2. They are the season high 16 games over 500. They're now 2.5 ahead of the Phillies, who lost again, as they've come down to earth, right? Remember 2 weeks ago when they were winning 9 in a row, flying past the Mets, had a 3-game lead in the Mets. Listen, baseball's the kind of thing you don't need to get worried about stuff. You don't have to worry every day. It's not football where you got to win this game, where this has got to happen. Stuff will play out. And the Phillies have come back down to earth. The Mets are playing well. They're 7-3 in their last 10. They could have swept the Dodgers. Let's be real. Mets could have won all 4 of those games. They probably should have won all 4 of those games. Now, I get it. They didn't. They won 2. But now you come here into Colorado, and if you could sweep through these 3, you have the Rays and the Nationals coming up next at home, and you could really put together a solid, month of baseball and pull away a little bit, hopefully, from the Phillies, because the Braves are fading. Braves lost a game the other night. That game that they lost when we were on the air talking, me and Brett, and we got the update that the Braves had lost. The Braves were up 10-4. With 1 out and nobody on in the 9th inning against the Diamondbacks. 10-4. 6-run lead, 1 out, nobody on, and they lost the game. And that's a Mets thing, right? That's something that would happen to the Mets. That's a crushing loss. And they've just been played terrible. They're playing themselves right into last place. They're behind the Nationals now. But anyway, back to last night. And another thing that's starting to kind of work itself out here is Soto, right? Starting to come together. And I'm going to tell you why. I saw a number yesterday, why it's really us worrying and even giving any attention to the Yankee fans that are sitting there telling you, oh, he's a bust. We don't want him anyway. We don't need him. Listen to this. Tonight, Soto will play his 1,000th game. He's been in the league for 1,000 games. Tonight, he has 212 home runs. He has 820 walks. 212 home runs, 820 walks. Only 2 players in Major League history have ever had 200 home runs, 800 walks in their first 1,000 games. Ted Williams and Frank Thomas. And when you start comparing somebody that names like that, baseball royalty, you understand why people kept saying, don't worry, he's gonna be okay. You don't play 1,000 games basically on the level of Frank Thomas and Ted Williams, and all of a sudden just forget how to play because you signed a new contract. I think he's starting to come to grips with the pressure and with the money and everything. He's trying to get himself set. He's fine. And he was on base again 4 times again last night, 3 for 4 with a walk. He scored 2 runs. He scored on the Alonso hit. He scored on the Lindor hit. And when those 3 get it going, and we know Lindor's he's always clutch. You can always count on Lindor, which it's great to have a guy in the lineup like that where he comes to the plate and you know you can count on him. You have the utmost faith that he's going to come through. And Alonso is that this season. And when you have Soto hitting now and you get Lindor, Alonso, and Soto, look out. Mets are 16 games over 500. The only time they've ever had a better start than this was 86, where at this point, they had 45 wins. So just to show how, and that team won 100-something games. Mets are right on pace to win 100 games this year. And the pitching has just been off the charts that nobody saw coming. I mean, off the charts with the pitching. The pitching is first in ERA with an under 3, 2.84 ERA. They're 6th in strikeouts, 573 strikeouts. The starting pitching has the best ERA. The relievers, the bullpen, has the second best ERA in baseball. And this is a staff that struggled in the bullpen last year, that has lost its ace, Sean Manaea, who made a start yesterday down in the minors. We'll talk about that in a minute. The pitching has really been the catalyst for this whole thing. And then when you get 3 guys like Lindor, Alonso, and Soto, and they're going to be hitting, you know, then you just fill in with the role players, and they're all coming through at different times. Marte is the latest. Marte's been good. I thought Marte might have been finished. Listen, his last 6, he's gotten big hits the last 2 nights. He's always in the middle of a rally. He scored big runs the last couple days. He is, let me see, where's Marte? On Marte's last 6 games, he's hit 353. He scored 7 runs. He's got a home run. He's got 2 walks. That's what we need from Marte. He's not going to be the player he was 3 years ago. This is going to be more. And if you can count on Marte coming off the bench, then I think that's huge because he's got some pop. He's got some power. He's heady baseball player. He's got speed. I mean, Marte's perfect coming off the bench. And as far as, like I said, Soto's coming around. I wouldn't worry about that. Alvarez, I'm a little worried about. I'm getting sick and tired. Alvarez he's just not doing it this year, right? I mean, Alvarez has been terrible since he's come back from the injury. I almost rather see Torrens in there. I feel better when Torrens is in the lineup than I do with Alvarez. And I'm going to give you his numbers here in a second. Let's see what Alvarez last night, he was right in the middle of the bases loaded, no out, 3 strikeouts. He is, so far this year, Alvarez he was 0 for 4 last night. I'm sorry. He was 1 for 4 last night. But so far this year, he's hitting 237 in 97 at-bats. He's got 1 home run. Alvarez is supposed to have some pop in his bat. That's what you liked about Alvarez. He came for some power from the catching position. He's got 8 RBIs. His OPS is only 620. 620 is borderline minor league OPS. Like, gets sent down to the minors. And, you know, when you put in Torrens, I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I trust Torrens more. He's better, but he seems better behind the plate. Last night, Alvarez almost threw that ball down the right field line when he tried to throw behind the runner, which would have been a big play. Luckily for him, Pete made a nice play and kept it in front of him. But I don't know. Alvarez, he seems to have dropped off for me since he got hurt last year. In the middle of the year, toward the end of the middle of the year, I should say, he got hurt. He hasn't been the same player. And then he got hurt again this year, and he doesn't have power. He's got 1 home run and 100 at-bats. That's not going to cut it. That is absolutely not going to cut it. I mean, Torrens has basically the same numbers, but I feel like he's better behind the plate. Torrens he's got 100 at-bats, so only 3 more at-bats. He's got 7 runs scored. He's hitting .250, so he's better on the average. He's got 11 RBI, 13 walks. Yeah, those are basically the same numbers. And he's better behind the plate. Mets are getting no production out of the catching position when we expected to have Alvarez, who is a 20, 25 home run guy. Or so we thought. So far, not this year. He's looking more like a 5 home run guy. So that could be an issue. But listen, there's not much to complain about here. No, we're not going to sit and bitch and moan about Alvarez when the Mets are winning all these games. And the 16 games over 500, 2.5 ahead of the Phillies. And they got 2 more against the Rockies tonight and tomorrow. And then they go home for 3 against the Nationals, 3 against the Tampa Bay Rays coming up, both at Citi Field. So Mets looking good. We're in good shape. Like I said, pitching's been excellent. You get Lindor, Alonso, and now Soto's coming along and playing real well. And it's going well. Clay Holmes tonight on the mound, going for his 7th win, 3.07 ERA. He's going up against Palmquist, who's 0-4, 8.5 ERA. Listen, you look at some of the ERAs on these Rockies and the White Sox. They're in bad shape. Pitchers are usually 0-6 or 0-4, 0-5 with a 9 ERA, something like that. So it it hasn't been going good. But Lindor, not playing yet. I don't want to see him pinch hitting too much. Right? Get better. We don't need that to be like a nagging thing going forward the rest of the summer. His toe, it's inflamed. He's not feeling well. He's got pain. Sitting out games. Just thanks for last night. Don't get me wrong. That was a big one. But we don't need to see him coming off the bench, although he has been decent coming off the bench in his career. He's 3 for 8 with 5 RBIs as a pinch hitter. So, and we said Marte, Marte's, I think, a perfect role for Marte. If he can find a spot on that bench to come off the bench and get big pinch hits, I think the Mets are going to be in good shape. And Alvarez got to get it going. Got to get it going. So the Mets and the Rockies tonight at 9:40 is the first game. Clay Holmes going for his 7th win of the season. I mean, listen, you could put 10 guys for the Mets on the All-Star team. We were talking about that the other day. The All-Stars, Alonso's going to be in. Lindor, is going to be in. Right? Soto's probably going to get voted in. And is that the only 3? I mean, you could put any of these. Diaz probably deserves a spot on the team. So, they just one after another with this team. It's been fantastic. And it's a great start. We'll take it. And they're playing through an easy part of their schedule with, it's kind of peppered with Dodger series. Because you got the Rockies and the White Sox and the Dodgers and then the Rockies again and then the Dodgers and then it's the Nats and the Rays. All bad teams except the Dodgers, who were peppered in there for a couple of series. And the Mets played well. They took the season series. And they just keep soaring, higher and higher. And they could really put, a good amount of distance between them and the Phillies during this, stretch up until, maybe the middle of June. And then they'll play them head to head. And they got the Braves coming in. And the Braves are just falling out of it. It's amazing. It really is. So Lindor will be on the bench tonight. Hopefully the Mets could just, make this an easier one. You gotta start hitting with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. You can't leave 12 men on the bases and expect to beat many teams besides the Rockies. So they got lucky last night. Listen, the other guys in the lineup got a hit. Beatty's got a hit. Beatty's cooled off here. You got Mauricio, who finally got a hit last night. That was good to see because last time, remember, he came up a couple years ago when the first time he came up, and he was just killing it. He was getting multiple hit games, stealing bases, making great plays in the field. And we were like, oh, we got, here we go. We got Mike Schmidt. Came up this time, got humbled a bit. He was 0 for 11, got a double last night. And, of course, they left him on base. But that was good to see. So hopefully he kind of now breaks out. We'll see what he does there. And there's really not many bad things to say about the Mets right now as we, hit the summer and get really this season going. We're more of a third of the way through. It's the 65th game. The Mets are 16 games over 500. You'll see they're gonna cruise through 20 games, and it'll be 25 games over 500. And I think they could cruise to a division championship. I don't want to say it like that because one, it'll jinx it. 2, Phillies are a good team. Phillies are gonna start playing better again, and we saw how quickly they could close the gap. So, it went from 5 games to, oh no, the Phillies have just passed us. They were 3 games ahead. So the Mets 2.5 ahead. Let's see if they can keep winning. The Phillies maybe drop off a bit, and that's it. So enjoy Belmont Stakes Day today. No Triple Crown this year. It's raining. See how many people they have out there. Journalism, right? Is that the horse's name? Journalism is the favorite. So it should be a good day out if you're headed out to the track and then coming home for the NBA Finals and the Mets tonight, 9:40. First pitch, Clay Holmes going against Carson Palmquist. You can hear the game on 880 or Mets Odyssey Radio. You can see the game on, I believe it's on SNY tonight. Gary and Keith. And that'll do it. So Mets win last night. They go to try and take the series. They try to take their 14th series of the season. They try to go 15 games over 500. It's the 1,000th game played for Juan Soto, and we gave you those numbers. Listen, Ted Williams and Frank Thomas. When you start talking about someone like that, they're gonna be okay. 1,000 games is a big sample size. It's not 100 games or 50 games. You're talking 10 years almost, or 8 years. So that'll do it for me here on Mets Extra, presented by Locked Up Sports. Don't forget to hit the QR code. Take a picture of that QR code that's been popping up down there in the bottom left corner. That will take you to our website with the page where you can follow our show. You can follow it on wherever you listen, whether it be Apple or Spotify or YouTube, or you want to connect to our social medias. It's all right there. Just hit the QR code. Just take a picture of that and head on over there and take care of that. Don't forget to leave us a review. Tell your friends. And that does it for me. From the Brian Gunzel Studios, enjoy the game tonight, everybody. I'm Bob Walters. See ya.